Howie Roseman is ready to strike, and he is looking over all his options, ready to make his move. While in Dallas, it's got so bad that they're talking about trading Parsons to Philly. Dallas is pathetic. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and welcome to Eagles Future News today, where you get tomorrow's topics right here and right now. We don't have to wait. Just look at the current events. Micah Parsons on the move. Could he be coming to Philly? They're talking trades. Josh Allen, all of a sudden they're saying, keep an eye on Josh Allen. The Eagles are closely monitoring it. We talked about Saquon Barkley before it happened. We talked about A.J. Brown before it happened. We are future Eagles news today, right here on this channel. Now, there is a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. First thing I want to say is this. Troy FAUTANU, it looks like the Eagles are really primed on this kid. Pause. They are really liking this kid. They are going to meet with him again. Thomas R. Peterson wrote this. The Eagles have met twice with the Washington super athlete Troy FAUTANU, a prime trade-up candidate, pound Eagles, not hashtag. He is going to be coming in for a visit to Philly after they have already met with this guy in the past. So, to me, I think Troy FAUTANU has to be one of the top 3 to 4 candidates that the Eagles could potentially look to get in this draft and trade up for. I expect that if there's any way that they can get him, that's who they're going to go after. I'm like 60-70% sure the Eagles are going to take an offensive lineman. Now, they could go, just so much craziness going on right now. I mean, the one fan base I would not want to be is the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I would not want to be that fan base. I mean, it's like chaos. You have no cap money. You have a quarterback who probably wants out. He's killing you cap-wise. You got Micah Parsons here. Now they're talking about trading Micah Parsons to Philly. Okay, now I'm going to discuss this more in detail in a minute because I think people have lost sight of the whole Micah Parsons situation. But then you have the whole CeeDee Lamb thing, right? CeeDee Lamb, all of a sudden looks like he might be holding out. JPA Football says, report, a potential holdout could be coming for pound Cowboys star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, who isn't expected to attend the team's OTAs, per at Dallas News. Now, here's the thing. The Dallas Cowboys always have issues going after new contracts of players. For whatever reason, they always have problems doing these contracts. So I expect there to be stuff leaked out about CeeDee Lamb, and he's this and he's that, and he doesn't do this. There's going to be things that come out because they do it with every player. They do it with Dez Bryant, Zeke Elliott. They do it with Dak Prescott. They're doing it with Micah Parsons now. It's absolutely insane. If the Dallas Cowboys allow CeeDee Lamb to hold out, it's going to be an ugly, ugly year. And can you believe the balls on Mark Holmes to go on Dan Silio's show and then try to say that Kellen Moore is a choke? Kellen Moore, he was actually complaining, Kellen Moore is a choke and the Eagles are going to have problems because he's a choke. No. Your quarterback's a choke because even when Kellen Moore left, guess what happened? Kellen Moore leaves and Dak Prescott still chokes. He's a choker. He's a choker. It is unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. It's absolutely crazy what's going on there. But the Eagles are set up to reap the rewards. There's no question about it. And when you think about the whole Micah Parsons thing, which I talked about yesterday, I've talked about how many times have I talked about it? Yesterday, the day before, weeks before, 2 weeks before, years before. I've been saying this. That this guy bleeds green. He's a future Philadelphia Eagle. And it's going to happen. I really think at some point it's going to happen. Guess what? We've been talking about this over here for weeks. And now It's hot topics. I'm telling you, I mean it. You get future Eagles news today on this channel. You do, because the hot topics that are going to come, usually we've already discussed them and been dived into them long before. A.J. Brown, people thought I was crazy. Saquon Barkley, people thought I was crazy. Now you have this stuff with, all of a sudden we start talking about Josh Allen. Now they're talking about Josh Allen. Now you have this whole thing with Micah Parsons. Now they're talking about Micah Parsons. But not only do they talk about Micah Parsons, they're taking it to absolutely crazy levels with Micah Parsons, okay? So crazy that WIP put out a poll whether or not the Eagles should trade for Micah Parsons. To me, that loses the whole reality of the Micah Parsons situation, okay? Because the way you're going to get Micah Parsons is not in a trade. The Dallas Cowboys are not going to trade Micah Parsons to the Eagles. I have never suggested that. I have never said that. I have never believed that. When you get Micah Parsons is when he becomes a free agent, which is probably, 2 years? I'm assuming Dallas will pick up the last year of his contract, and it's going to get ugly. And when it gets ugly, and then he shakes free, that's when you have a chance. Now, if Dallas wants to trade him to the Philadelphia Eagles, I would trade for Micah Parsons in a second. I believe Micah Parsons is a really, really good player. And these people are absolutely crazy in Dallas. They're absolutely crazy to be all upset about him podcasting and talking. Like they're crying about, oh, Micah Parsons is crying and he's talking and he says too much and he's getting on everybody's nerves. Shut up! Shut up! I mean, really? That's what you're worried about in Dallas? Like, the guy doesn't get arrested. He's not getting pulled over for drunk driving. He's not involved in any crimes. He's not doing anything like that. All he's doing is going on podcasts and telling you his opinion. When it become illegal for these guys, I don't care if it's Darius Slay. I don't care who it is. When's it become illegal for them to give their opinion? You don't have to like their opinion, and you can actually go after and attack their opinion. I'm all for that. I've had, things Darius Slay has said I didn't like when he talked about tackling stuff. But, man, he could say it. And because Micah Parsons goes out there on a podcast and talks, the Dallas Cowboys, their fans, their media, the whole organization, they want to get rid of the guy. It's gotten so bad that they're talking about there's actually a poll for a trade for Parsons to the Eagles. That's insane. That's insane. It's hilarious to me. I never suggested that the Dallas Cowboys would trade Micah Parsons to the Eagles. I'm one that believes you don't trade within the division, okay? Now, that said, the Eagles have done it. They traded Donovan McNabb to Washington. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys would trade him to the Eagles. But I do think that Parsons wants to be an Eagle. I do think at some point he's going to try to be an Eagle. And I think it's got to be when he's a free agent. When he goes to get his new contract, that's when the Eagles are going to make their move. That's when they're going to make the move. Unless they snag somebody like Josh Allen or something like that. Remember, next year, okay, after this season, the Eagles only have Bryce Huff and Nolan Smith. Those are your only two real pass rushers. Brandon Graham is gone. I think he's retiring. Josh Sweat is last year of his contract. I don't think he's coming back. So when we talk about going out and getting another pass rusher, yes, the Eagles definitely want to do it. But would Dallas actually trade Micah Parsons? I think that's going a little too far. I don't see that happening. I see Micah Parsons as a guy that comes over when his contract expires. That is when I think it's going to happen. And that is also why, leading up to this draft, you have to keep your eye on the Josh Allen situation. I have been saying this for weeks, and now people are finally starting to take notice. Chris Franklin wrote this. He did a whole article on this. Why the Eagles should monitor Jaguars' Josh Allen situation very carefully, okay? And he goes on and he says, after the Eagles traded linebacker Hassan Reddick to the Jets for a conditional 2026 third-round draft pick, that could become a second-round pick if Reddick plays 67.5% of his defensive snaps and get at least 10 sacks. They will need to rely on defensive end Bryce Huff to fill in the production Reddick had, which was 27 sacks. 27 sacks over the last 2 seasons. After 2024, and this is key, Huff and linebacker Nolan Smith will be the only 2 edge rushers under contract, with defensive end Josh Sweat becoming a free agent and defensive end Brandon Graham expected to retire. According to Over the Cap, the Eagles currently have $30.6 million in cap space and $26.6 million in effective cap space, the amount of space after having 51 players on the roster. The Eagles typically like to keep money free to make moves during the season if changes need to be made. There is an injury or they want to roll over money to get more space in 2025 salary cap. Now, Josh Allen, it doesn't look like he's getting his contract anytime soon. He's not happy. You have to watch and monitor this situation. The Eagles are the type of team, and really one of the few type of teams, that could pull this off, and that could pull the trigger. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying that if Howie Roseman is doing his due diligence, and he is smart, this is the guy you need. This is the guy that fits Fangio's system, and if I forget who it was, somebody in the Shakedown podcast on Saturday put out the statistics of Josh Allen when he drops back into coverage. Whoever that was, I forget. Shout out to you. Send me that because I can't find that anywhere, and I want to share it with everybody else. You have to watch out, but I find you have to watch out and keep an eye on the whole Josh Allen situation. That's the kind of move Howie Roseman is looking to make. He is poised to strike. He has the ammunition to do it, and he's going to do it if given an opportunity. People are talking about the Parsons trade, which is nice, but that's not the trade that'll be made. That is not reality. Dallas will not trade Parsons, but Dallas will let him expire his contract, and he will become a free agent and then go to the Eagles. That's what I see happening. But Josh Allen is the move. Josh Allen is the move right away that makes his defense go to a whole nother level. A whole nother level. And I look forward to the day that future Eagle Micah Parsons is an Eagle. I do know he bleeds green, but it's interesting to me. It's funny to me. Many people tell me, I come to your channel because you're talking about future Eagles events way ahead of everybody else, way before it happens. You talk about future stuff today, and I love it. And to all of you who've told me that, thank you, and I love you too. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Yeah, I can't believe that Mark went on Dan Silio's show. Not that I care. All right, he's sitting in his mom's panties, and he goes on Dan Silio's show, and then he says he actually has the nerve to say Kellen Moore is a choke. How is Kellen Moore a choker? Literally, it's your quarterback that is choked these games away. It isn't Kellen Moore. And Kellen Moore got fired, left, and then Dak Prescott went to the playoffs as a number 2 seed and lost to a 7 seed. How is that on Kellen Moore? Somebody please tell me. Denzel Washington, out.